Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a round 2 matchup in the Super Metroid and Link to the Past Randomizer tournaments with prizes given and sponsored by Rank 1 Global. I'm Leslie Pro. Tonight, I am joined by Ancient Gamer. How you doing tonight?
Hey, I'm pumped tonight, Leslie. I think this is going to be a good race. Raikou, one of my homies from the group stage, Group Q, coming off his bye, going to face Blandation. They both have kind of similar running philosophies, so this matchup is going to be interesting.
It certainly is, and there will be more interesting matchups to come as this tournament progresses. But in the here and now, this is the matchup that is whoever wins. Chances are they're facing a tough opponent next round. We'll get into that later.
Yeah, the still water's starting to run really, really deep coming up.
And we're underway. And to point out, tonight RaikouRider is using a custom sprite, the Mega Man X sprite, more specifically.
Now, I expect to see Raikou go straight into Zelda. He does not ever waver from that, and Blandation going to do the same.
Now the island's got nothing. Now, the opening that Raikou typically goes for is the Houlihan opening, and the strategy of not opening the Sanctuary chest was as intended because, well, we got a map check. Vanilla Eastern and a red crystal at Hera with a crystal in the desert. But back to Sanctuary. The reason Raikou didn't open that chest is because in the off chance that flippers are there, that would completely throw off what he's about to do. He's setting up for a Houlihan strat.
Meanwhile, Blandation left Link's house. He found a full heart container and got the pull he wanted, those bombs from the tree pull. That's definitely a helpful.
So by doing the Houlihan strat, Raikou gets 225 rupees, which help on open seeds where money's not becomes an issue, but I don't see that being an issue here thus far, as Blandation got a big 20 drop.
And then just an E-Tank in Sanctuary. I think Blandation, as you know, this is Raikou's standard open, and he does a lot of videos where he explains what he does and why. I think what Blandation's doing there is he was taking a roll of the dice to try to see if he could get the jump and get out there to Kakariko without having to burn the time for a Houlihan that he knew Raikou was going to do. And he caught the bombs, which was a good break for him.
And this time the tree pull was small magic pots. And more from the bug.
Just a missile pack on the lumberjack ledge. Nobody's coming back to get that. So Aga not required from what we know at this moment.
And Raikou does get the Sanctuary chest. There was a practice seed of his that I was watching a while back where he forgot the Sanctuary chest the whole time, and thankfully it was just practice and it wasn't required, because otherwise that could have hurt.
Yeah, that's one of those derps that you look back on and go, oh my God. Oh, look at there. And Blandation scoring the glove at the drop down. All right. Good find.
Indeed, as that opens up bag of escape. But we're not going to worry about that just yet, because we still got to go through all of Kakariko.
No, but also worth noting, it also opens up Zora. So Raikou's hula hand may come into play here.
May come into play if there's no money per se in these next checks for the bottle vendor. Not that that's likely, mind you, but this randomizer sometimes does things like that.
Yeah, he's going to be all right for the bottle, but yeah, he's definitely going to be all right. So this is one of those seeds where you can skip. But if Zora does become an issue, that 500 is a big chunk to swallow and gets the fetch quest right out of the gate.
Now, normally, whenever I see shovel that early, I don't save and quit. I just go check it after checking the maze race because I'm in the area. I might as well.
Agreed. Those fetch quests, while they usually turn out to be nothing, they could be your key, something like that, or mushroom and shovel, like you said, when you're down there at race game, it's just a little few steps over. Blandation getting that E-Tank and that first set of power bombs that we've seen, really important for Super Metroid.
Absolutely, because power bombs help put things in. Well, so does that screw attack.
Yep. So now go ahead. I'm sorry, Leslie.
Don't worry about it. Hey, I was just about to say power bombs help put things in logic. So does that screw attack, because now you don't necessarily need to use bombs to get through. Oh, we have got a bottle vendor that is selling swords.
I'd pay $100 for a sword right now.
Well, that's better than the 500 off King Zora. Say that much.
Definitely. It's also a bomb saver because, coming up, there's usually South Shore with Mini Moldorm, and they may choose to do escape. That sword means they won't be stuck doing it with bombs, which is always, a thrill.
Yeah, believe me, as someone who's played standard random weapon siege where you dip bombs to use as your weapon to escape, yeah, that's not a fun time. And no bird clip this time.
I didn't even catch what that was on library.
Saw it, yeah, it went by way too fast.
Was that a bottle?
Yep, it was, and Blandation's going right for it. There's definitely something blue. Chat's saying it was flippers, which non-zero chance that those are required.
All right, so Blandation collecting that bottle. Of course, I don't blame him. Now, it's a toss-up here whether he goes ahead and checks the shovel and then walks up, or walks up and walks back down. Okay, he's going to get that bottle check out of the way.
Or maybe try and do it coming back to Kakariko. That was flippers in the library, by the way. We confirmed it on Raikou's side. So yeah, we're probably going to be needing boots, as if Desert Palace wasn't already threatening enough to need that.
And the sick kid just coughing up a big 20 there. It's looking like Blandation is going to go ahead and do that shovel check. I kind of agree with this.
Not a bad idea. The face-off distance, it might be slightly faster on this build to do the save-quit strat. By slightly faster, I mean only like maybe a half second at that. So it's inconsequential.
So we got some sync.
I think Raikou's going to try and do the bottle check on a return trip, and it's just arrows that nobody wants.
they leave them laying on the ground.
That explains why Lionel started using them in Breath of the Wild.
All right, neither opting for that risky Agina check. I knew Raikou was it. He, at Dirty Agina, as he calls it, he doesn't go there.
Yeah, I agree with that myself, because that is dirty when that's required.
We're probably going to be seeing some tandem checks here for a little while. The expected route is pretty much over to Mini Moldorm and then probably to Ice Rod Cave. Be interesting to see if either one of them does a fake flipper. I almost expect Raikou to do it, especially if they come up with a Moon Pearl here in Mini Moldorm.
Yeah, Moon Pearl and Mini Moldor might draw both runners to that. Seeing slightly different strats for Mini Moldorm Cave, and so far nothing worth mentioning outside of a reserve tank and a heart container, and the rest basically junk.
Yeah, not much to go on there. Somewhat disappointing. Although a Mini Moldorm Cave like that almost automatically leads to the Ice Rod Cave check. A good Mini Moldorm will make you think about either skipping Ice Rod Cave or maybe putting it off later till you get something like Flute or Boots. But them finding no good items there, I'd see where they go ahead and make the trek over.
Gotta be careful though, because those crabs do 2 hearts of damage. And that's just a big 20 in Ice Rod Cave. Blandation has seen enough.
Blandation starting at Sanctuary. Now that's interesting.
Back of Escape.
Back of Escape.
But Raikou's not done. He's probably going for the fake flipper.
Yeah, he sees Boots locked on the library. He's got the Zora money. I can see him making this play. Wow, and Back of Escape not really coughing up anything at all.
Well, coughed up a map bombs and rupees, so value lacking. We are going to get a hobo check first. No Boots can't be here, but it's an E-tank.
And Raikou likes seeing that. You want to go into Super Metroid with a few E-tanks if you can. That's definitely not a problem for him.
Back at Sahasrala's hut is a flute. That opens things up, and that's a save and quit. I would think Blandation's going for Death Mountain.
Yeah, definitely. That flute pretty much screams Death Mountain. I believe Eastern is the vanilla green pendant. So he's going to just leave that alone, go activate that flute. Solid play.
It's a play that makes sense, and you can always flute back to number 5. And I don't think we're coming back for that shield.
Call it a feeling, huh?
Now Raikou went out with fake flipper, so has to take the vanilla way to get over to King Zora.
Oh, and the world's most expensive missile pack. Raikou not going to be happy about that. And Blandation, just as you figured, is heading straight to Death Mountain. He's going to go ahead and save the old man. It's out of logic, but this is one of the easiest dark rooms in all of A Link to the Past. Pretty standard to go ahead and get this save spot in the portal handy for him.
So this won't be anything important for Raikou. As for the old man, well, let's just say recently I tried doing the old man cave without a sword or lamp. It took much longer than when you have that sword to guide you.
Yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Raikou's heading for the front of Escape. Blandation is not checking Business Center just yet. Ooh, those Death Mountain cabbages coming right down hard. Gotta be careful, because those things will take you out real fast.
And that's a hook shot on Spectacle Rock. So, and there's a spring ball. I expect him to go do that. The escape check is definitely standard Raikou. Once he gets that glove and he checks back of escape, that's usually his cue to go check escape.
And that key puts an item at Dark Cross. Would he go for the sequence break, I wonder?
He may. He hasn't been to Sasha's closet yet, so he hasn't seen that flute. So he just may do that. Oh, and the most hated item in Super Metroid, the grapple beam.
Well, it'll help for areas where that's useful, where that's usable and you don't have space jump. And that is a heart container at the business center, so nothing further here, sadly, for Blandation. But we are going to check the Croc escape, and and I'd say we are betting on RaikouRider today, because that's an ice rod.
Always bet on Croc. And Spazer at the bottom of escape. Budget plasma. If you don't have plasma, you're not sorry to see that. Unless you're one of those Spazer haters, and I'm here to tell you you're right.
And we're gonna need a book, because that's a Morph Ball on Desert Ledge. And it looks like we may have a dirty Agena.
Yeah, that flute makes this check a lot less painful. So, yeah, it makes sense. And I guess Blandation is hoping for the proverbial key under the mat here. Maybe he'll score a book from a...
Half magic, so it's not Agena. The answer is in Green Pendant Eastern.
Well, remember, they also have that screw attack. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items in logic in Super Metroid form, right?
And chat's pointing out that Mitz and Mire would also work in this situation with the flute. So, yeah, we're 1 or 2 items away from getting it, depending on how things go. And Mire would set up a chain reaction of sorts, because you need that for the hook shot, which is required to beat A Link to the Past by logic.
And grabbing that hook shot would give you access to East Death Mountain as well.
Blandation just got the news about Dark Cross being a thing.
just the map in the first chest of Eastern. Now, the pendant Eastern play from Raikou before the Super Metroid play, really understandable. He has the philosophy that Eastern being a pendant makes him more likely to dip it early, knowing that he can't full clear it.
Yeah, for me, it's a mix between that and sometimes the seeds themselves. And this also goes for standalone Link to the Past Rando, where gravity suit.
Yeah, definitely a worthwhile dip.
Yeah, that makes this play even more worthwhile, because on seeds to be a combo for standalone Z3R. If you don't have any other place to go, Eastern's probably a good call, because hey, your progression might be inside. And Blandation's trying to be stealthy about this.
That or he set. Well, no, did he already kill the other guard?
No, he didn't.
He's setting up for a death warp.
It's a death warp that makes sense, because that tells me he's going for Dark Cross.
Raikou is going to break logic here because, of course, you will. You're already in Eastern. You have the sword. Do the dark room and go ahead and get everything out of here you can. Although I'm going to gamble and say that gravity was the big prize out of here. Yes, they do have.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if that were the big prize here. But yeah, right now, parts of... Well, the annoying thing about doing the Brinstar checks that aren't morph locked is when you get progression, it's that walk back.
Yeah, you can take that save spot right outside of Brinstar Reserve in case there's nothing down there. If you get your progression in Brinstar Reserve, you can always reset back. But I'm pretty sure we're going to find something in because we're almost out of places to go in Link to the Past.
Piece of Heart and Dark Cross. So nothing major there. Blandation's done with A Link to the Past and is headed for Super Metroid. Doesn't have the gravity suit. We will see if that becomes a factor.
Raikou just finding that compass in the big chest, so Eastern's still holding back an item plus whatever item's on that green pin.
Got ourselves a flute activation.
No, they don't have to beat Zelda before they start Metroid. It doesn't work that way.
As you're getting down to the Terminator E-Tank, and that's just a big 20.
Blandation rethinking this, and I guess he's going to go ahead and go down to check out Old Mother Brain and the Vanilla Morph spot.
Yeah, that's 2 checks right there. And that's one where if there's nothing, you can just reset and respawn right at the ship.
Yeah, he'll probably go ahead and do the ceiling check, which is also out of logic, but very doable.
And that's a moonfall from Blandation. Speed tech discovered within the last few years to help speed break the falling speed limit that is only possible when Moonwalk is on, and that's a big 20 at Old Mother Brain. So she was hoarding money, and the hoard almost ran out. Also, for our runners, the goose is loose, the duck is a mutt, the mallard is empowered, and we got ourselves a double case of... Okay, so what's up, Vanilla Moore?
Just another bottle. He's not really worried about that because he's already seen that. You see this ceiling check, and if it's nothing, we'll probably get that reset you talked about.
Yep, and we're getting the Raikou specialty, throwing the bomb at it. Oh, the boots are in the ceiling!
Out of logic, but that's not going to matter to our runners. They're going to want that.
Yeah, they're going to want that immediately, and the way you get that is through a damage boost into the item. However, it is a finicky one.
Yeah, if you don't make it in the first 3 tries, it's actually easier to just go out and reset the ring. Okay, but he got it.
Nicely done. And he got the damage boost jump off of that enemy. So now, while that may be out of logic, that is a slight edge to Blandation in terms of link to the pass movement. However, well, you still got to do the climb back up. When you get a big item like that, it feels good.
It does. That's a score. And he knows that's not what he was looking for. He knows there's something else here. I would almost expect him to do the climb up and save at the ship, just in case. You know, it is possible with that screw attack to get soft lock in those blocks if you're not careful with what you do. So he may save at the ship just to make sure he doesn't wind up having to make this trip again.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. Although, speaking of, it's worth mentioning that even if Samus does get stuck in those blocks, I do believe that if you're close enough to an edge, you might be able to wiggle out, but if the blocks spawn back in, forget about it. You have to reset.
Yeah, there is a technique to do that, but it's also you can only escape to the right. You can't move yourself left that way. That's going to be a moot point because by going back through the portal, Blandation is going to save all of his progress. So I guess he's wanting to get the boot check out the way.
There are a number of boots checks that are very doable right now. You got the library, you got the bonk rocks, and you've got the flippers checks thrown in for free. That tells me something about this suit. That tells me that either high jump, space jump, ice beam, or morph ball bombs are going to be available, or some combination of.
Pretty quickly.
Raikou's in Business Center, sees the ice rod, and unfortunately the library bonk, you cannot bonk from that top side for whatever reason. And Raikou's is going to reset.
Blandation collecting those flippers. Okay. Oh, he's going to do the bonk rocks check. All right. Well, it's not impossible that it would open up Super Metroid. It's just that something like high jump boots or space jump or something like that would have to be in the chain somewhere. And space jump is behind boots. So that means that it's either high jump, ice beam, or morph ball bombs that's still out there somewhere early.
Yep, and space jump's a fantastic item to have as it makes a number of checks less painful to make in Super Metroid. Like, case in point, I cannot IVJ for the life of me. Space jump takes out having to do that.
Yeah, that was a great find. Raikou's going to be happy when he finds his. Now, Blandation here does not have Zora money, so all he'll be able to do is check the ledge unless he finds some money in Waterfall of Wishing. But unknown to him, he's going to be able to check the only items that may possibly have some value from this whole.
Chad also points out that space jump does make wrecked ship a lot easier to reach, but gravity suit also helps in that regard in case you fall into the drain.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so Blandation is going to go farm. Nice call. It's only going to take one trip.
One try on the Pegasus boots for Raikou, getting a bit of time back there.
Yeah, he's also going to gain a little time from Blandation doing the Zora area that he fake flippered and did. He'll lose a little of it back, though, because he's going to wind up having to go back and check Waterfall of Wishing.
Which if he finds Mire, which we know he's going to do, and routes that in with Catfish, well, there are interesting nuances with Z3R standalone and Combomizer that actually work to save time. Oh, there's the Moon Pearl. Yeah, there's definitely something in the big pink area. I am convinced of it.
Wouldn't be surprised to go ahead and find Book there. That opens up the possibility with that gravity suit of Meridia being your Dark World access. They're going to have to find Speed Booster as well. But once they have that Morph Ball, there's quite a few checks they can.
Unfortunately, King Zora is an arms dealer today.
So now Raikou, having done those checks, is going to go on down and do Brinstar Reserve and Big Pink. So we're going to finally see what's in there. Looks like Blandation is making that Eastern Palace move. He doesn't know it, but this is a really awesome move for him to make because he's going to get his gravity suit.
What value that has remains to be seen, but it'll definitely help down the road. Now, Raikou is not going to Brinstar Reserve because he wouldn't be able to get out without Morph Ball. That would be a soft lock.
Surprised he didn't check the item under the Crumble Bridge, though, because that is obtainable, not in logic, but it is obtainable with a quick fall. There's that book.
Yep, Morph Ball is in sight. This seed's about to open up big time, and I think Raikou knows it.
Yeah, you're going to see him book it right back to Zelda, grab that Morph Ball, and then we're going to see Super Metroid for a little while.
Oh, definitely, no doubt about it. The addition of having boots is also going to allow Raikou to obtain at least one item in Desert and determine if it was boots locked or not, or possibly even find a fire source in there. Who knows? That is right, chat. Morph Ball is on the desert ledge, and Raikou is making a beeline for that location right now.
Yeah, the logic here not being real subtle about what it wants you to do. And Blandation choosing to go ahead and go as far as he can in Eastern as well. Again, I would agree with.
Now, Hookshot also helps not just with Ice Palace, but with movement in the overworld, especially when you don't have boots, because one common strategy I see in the Z3R community is to use the various hookshotable points for Link to zip around and save a bit of time on movement. Well, Raikou's also getting flippers. He'll be happy to see that because there is a Moon Pearl very close.
Yeah, it's going to depend on what call he makes because he's already fake flippered it. And I know that Raikou is a big fan of running in the Catfish check with those checks if he can to make it less painful. The fact that he's able to go obtain that Morph Ball right now, I'm thinking may very well lead him away from Moon Pearl for a while.
That's what it seems like to me, potentially. But with Space Jump, we are going to see the front of Gauntlet. Can't do the back without Morph, but you can check the front.
Interesting play here from Blandation. He should know that there has to be something at Big Pink. I guess he's rolling the dice here. And Desert, not boot slop.
Well, not for the big key. Aero capacity upgrade at the front of Gauntlet Z-Tank, so that's a reset.
And Raikou will be able to check the entire front of Desert.
He's going to check the torch, and he's going to find a what? That is a weirdly glitched compass sprite. What in the world? A key combined with a boomerang?
Game, I think you might be on something tonight.
What was that? Boomer key. Okay.
That's about as good of a description as I could think of. Thanks, Putz. And the boss holds a second item, but Raikou's gonna get a heart container coming out of here.
Not worried about that right now. I can tell you where he's going at right now.
Yeah, right now is a Morph Ball play. Absolute.
Raikou making a dash and then remembering that he does not have a fire source. All right, Blandation has seen his reading material, so now he knows the. Yep, and Raikou not doing those flipper checks. He's going straight back into Super Metroid. This could get interesting.
Yes, it could, because all the rest of the progression could be on this side, and all the last thing that's progression for A Link to the Past would be outside of the space jump. At Bonk Rocks would be the Moon Pearl, and Raikou's going to need both of those things. Now, this wall jump he's doing is not in logic, but it is doable.
Raikou, unfortunately, also did not do the Bonk Rocks checks, did he?
Nope, he beelined it right back here, which is what I was worried about, because he's missed out. I mean, technically, Bonk Rocks to him might be out of logic in terms of considering those boots are out of logic, which puts things even more out of logic, and at the end of the day, you probably forget which way is up in terms of logic. I mean, that happens to all of us.
True, but in a bracket race situation like this, such a key movement item for Super Metroid like space jump, I don't care if it's out of logic. I'm just happy to have it.
Yeah, that's the other thing, chat, is that Morph Ball allows X to become a mech. That's a rather interesting touch, and it's just gonna be a piece of heart and 20 rupees at the end of Gauntlet, and that is a big ol' no thank you, Raikou, opting to reset.
Now, Raikou, unfortunately, going to be hampered a little bit by the fact that he's only got 5 power bombs. The screw attack will help a little bit with that, but he'll be a lot more comfortable once he finds at least one more pack. 2 would be optimal.
Got a bomb Terizo check.
Just a heart piece.
Yep. Nothing of importance. Does the Alcatraz escape first try? That is not easy. From there to Omega Missile. And that is a second power bomb back. So that'll help big time.
Absolutely. I guarantee you he's happy to see that.
Any runner of this rando would definitely be happy to see that in that situation.
So what, sir? Astor's not here, so you're handling the puns tonight?
I feel like somebody has to when it comes to the puns. It's just the nature of it.
Why does somebody have to? Never mind.
I don't know. Some people like to be punny.
That's correct on the logic. But in that logic was Screw Attack, Book, Morph Ball. Okay, so yeah, the boots still are not in logic yet.
So Flippers and Space Jump by that proxy aren't in logic. There's a heart container which Raikou picks up. Now the reason boots aren't in logic is because we either need high jump boots, Morph Ball Bomb for infinite bomb jump, or Ice Beam to freeze the enemy. Those are the three options that the lot would be considered in logic. Normally Space Jump would be one of the options there, but since it's behind the item that's there, the boots, that's not an option today. Oh, we got Billy Mays here. Hi, Billy Mays here. With a bloomerang, but wait, that's not all. Order now and you get 100 rupees back.
Blandation just finding another heart container there at Criteria Power Bombs. Okay, interesting. He is gonna go. Where's he gonna go now? And how far is he gonna check? Is the question.
Yeah, this is either gonna be Red Tower. Now I say Red Tower. This is going for Wrecked Ship, which Grapple Beam does put in logic.
True. A lot of people just like to check the moat. If I have the items that Blandation has, a lot of times I'll check the moat and go even farther and check the item up in the mountain, which you can do with Space Jump, and what's up under the ocean to see if there's anything there. Evidently, he's doing the Red Tower play. Going to make a backward.
And Raikou's looping back for Charge Beam and finding a magic key. Interesting to see what comes of that. And it's just super missiles at the top of Red Tower. And Raikou getting Spore Spawn skip.
Another finicky trick. It's like Alcatraz. Sometimes you just lose it occasionally, which seems to be the thing I'm going through right now. But it's just a camera manipulation allowing you to use the super missile to bust that block. The old strat was to actually crystal flash in that tunnel to allow you to get into a kneeling position to get it. Blandation finding a mushroom at Alpha Power Bombs.
Well, that's also a fetch quest item, but if we find Canis Samaria, we're able to do a fake powder at Magic Bat to trigger that. However, we still need a hammer. Or another glove plus Mire. See, Chad, I caught myself that time. Now,
Okay,
he
so
might be coming back for that.
Yeah, Blandation gonna do the X-ray check. Don't blame him. Space Jump and Screw Attack makes this a walk in the park.
Yeah, Grapple Beam's just a minor inconvenience, and that's a green rupee. at the Morph Ball missile. Now for Morph Ball Reserve, it is super missiles, 3 bombs, and a
And the high
wall.
jump boots. Okay, there's your logical progression. Grapple beam to high jump boots to space jump. It is now all in line.
Yep, that one play right there by Blandation allowed us to fill in the blanks.
Not to mention scoring those high jump boots with space jump is really nice, because now all he really needs is speed booster for full Super Metroid move. He's already got the spring ball.
And we've got ourselves some power bombs and missiles over on the Edikun approach area. There's a name for it, I don't know it. But hey, I'd rather it be high jump to get that than the game expecting you to do an IDJ.
You know, it's worth noting this route that Blandation has taken has paid off. Now watch Raikou find something here and make a liar out of me, but Raikou has really found nothing of consequence doing all these checks. So Blandation, by choosing to go ahead and go down, probably chasing that gravity suit a little bit, has turned out to be a great call as far as routing was concerned.
While it might have worked out for routing, there's one area it has not worked out for Blandation, and that would be power bombs. He only has one with a max of 5 compared to 11 and 15 for Raikou.
That's very true, and he needs to be careful here, because if Kraid doesn't drop him a power bomb, he's soft locked.
Raikou heading back to where the book was to check Mission Impossible. And you're right here, you might as well check all this stuff if you can. And that's just a trash can. Nice damage boost by Blandation. We've got ourselves our first sighting of Kraid.
Yeah, we've all been there, Pro. Days on that bug.
Got a quick kill on Kraid as Raikou hits the wave gate glitch. And that's the X-ray scope behind Kraid.
Blandation having scored, okay, just some money.
Yep, a rupee hoard, 300 rupees. That's one advantage of having X-ray scope, is that you get to see that particular missile check, and if you don't like it, you don't have to take it.
Merle was in Waterfall of Wishing, I believe.
Yep, Waterfall of Wishing, and it might be a while before Raikou goes back for it. That's 10 arrows at the Kraid E-Tank.
Yeah, no, Morph Ball was on Desert Ledge. Now, Raikou using the intended strat here to get this X-ray, but he's going to be happy to find those high jump boots, and he's going to realize that that puts his boots in logic. Oh, and taking a fall.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. I think he was doing the grapple beam because Space Jump appeared to be giving him... And he get grabbed! Uh-oh! Those yapping moths can be evil sometimes.
Yeah, that was kind of scary. Now, with the way things have kind of come about here, our runners basically have no choice from the knowledge that we've gained from all the checks they've made between the two of them. Meridia is the play.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. I mean, I could see Raikou doing a hell run to Bubble Mountain potentially, but it would be dicey.
Well, actually, Link Wreck Ship is in Logic now because Space Jump is in Logic. Well, the Grapple Beam gave you Wreck Ship, but Wreck Ship could also be a. I agree with this check in the front of Meridia, though. You're right here. You know, take a peek.
Well, we don't need Speed Booster for Main Street Missiles, and Crab Supers is Crab Supers. Had a deja vu feeling about that one.
The really cool thing about this is you can check the entire front of Meridia and then take the exit out the top and be right there on your way to Wreck Ship. So this works out pretty well. I like this routing by Blandation. He really does need to find another pack of power bombs, though.
Yeah, that's what makes this particular routing risky. There's a hammer, though, and that is Dark World access for Blandation.
Wow, major fine for Blandation. Again, that's not good news for Raikou.
Based off what I'm seeing here, it's like Blandation is god routing this seed right now.
Yeah, he's going to go to Death Mountain because duh. And then he's going to probably get his Dark World access and start chasing a Link to the Past. I don't blame him. Raikou is doing an out of logic check here.
Yep, he is going for, well, he was trying for a Morph Ball here, but failed it, so he's going to try it again, this time with Spring Ball off.
Yeah, that Spring Ball will mess you up, but actually, even with Spring Ball, if you bounce, you didn't get the Morph Ball correctly. One place the Spring Ball can mess you up if you don't have Space Jump is that trip through Upper Norfair. If you're going to do the Morph Ball in the Rising Lava Room, the first hit you take from an enemy, which in the any percent route, you take the hits intentionally, you go straight up in the air with that Spring Ball. It is annoying.
Although right here would be a good place to be able to use Spring Ball for some extra height.
I don't think Raikou feels behind it. Oh, sorry.
It happens. We got Pod and Turtle Rock as our other pendants. And a single arrow at the treasure game, so nothing but junk there, with another missile pack in the Sea House.
Raikou doing these checks and finding a little bit of nothing. Blandation, meanwhile, heading straight into Thieves Town. I don't think that Raikou feels behind just yet. If he goes into Meridia and he finds that hammer, he's probably... What?
Oh, he's going for the Upper Norfair Hell Run. He's played a number of these seeds, so he knows exactly what he's doing with this particular play.
This is making me change what I think, though, because I believe Raikou does believe he's behind. He's right. He is.
That's a fire rod in the cathedral.
All right, Raikou, you need to pause and
Raikou, you need to get moving.
And oh, he's going to reset it away. If you pause and then use your reserve tank, you get all of the energy. Whereas if you let it activate while you're in that heated room, the whole time you're filling up, you're still taking heat damage. So pausing is the way to do that.
Yeah, we got the knowledge, but the question is Raikou going to go back for it? I think so. Nope, he is clearing out, so we know where it is, but he reset it away.
Still, that's awesome knowledge for him to have. He knows right where it is. Definitely going to need.
But with that knowledge and knowing what we know of the pennant situation, that takes the Varia suit off pedestal.
Blandation, meanwhile, while he's clearing, Thieves Town has not really found anything remarkable.
Taking out the mini crate gives you the supers you need.
Oh yes, you're right. If he can definitely get that fire rod and get back out with space jump and screw attack. Absolutely.
And that's a quick kill for RaikouRider. 2 for 2 on crate quick kills.
No, I agree, Algernon. When Bland gets that Varia suit, he's going to go through there. That's pretty much standard practice.
Oh. Ooh. Chat bringing up an outstanding point that I had not thought of until it was mentioned. Yes, that boat can be in Ganon's tower in the sea based off of how the pendants fell.
Oh, that's nasty. That happened last year in my race with Iris.
Algernon's right. Not having space jump will keep him out of logical Meridia access?
No. He has the grapple.
Oh yeah, grapple, right.
Which means, I mean, fortunately for Raikou, it means he can collect that hammer. Unfortunately, I think what's going to happen when he does is that's going to lead him even further away from Moon Pearl, because I expect to see him go to Death Mountain once he collects.
But here's the thing, Blandation has not checked East Death Mountain yet, so we don't know what's over there.
True.
What we do have is a digging game.
I'm kind of expecting Blandation to do his route around and do his checks and digs up plasma, which is an awesome find. But once he clears Hype Cave, maybe Pyramid and Catfish, maybe. But even if he does that, he's gonna go to Death Mountain here eventually.
Yeah, chat's saying that East Death Mountain is off limits right now because we still don't have Mire. We still do not have the usual means of getting there.
Oh, that's right.
It's just Mire and Mire only that gets us there due to where Spectacle Rock is, or rather, what's on top of Spectacle Rock.
That's right. I was thinking they had already collected that hook shot. Thank you, chat. It's been a long day, guys.
Yep, a long day and a long stretch of a couple of months. Wow, that was a very optimal Mama Turtle missile pickup for Raikou. Get it while you're falling.
And Red Cane at the front of Hype Cave. Another pack of power bombs. Varia, another sword. At this juncture, I'm going to give that a 10 out of 10.
Hype Cave, folks. That right there is a true Hype Cave. Haven't seen one of those in a while, and we're about to see a gravity jump from Raikou.
Wow, that is actually bad news for Raikou, because he's going to need that Moon Pearl to get that Varia suit.
Basically, Blandation has about all of Super Metroid in logic, with only needing ammo or charge beam for Ridley.
Yeah, because he can now take the back way.
Hey, another sword. This one at Meridia Beach. I think we're about to get a catfish check.
Nothing in the watering hole.
Yep, we got an empty watering hole this time, and that's not going to be a good thing. Well, I mean, you'd consider doing the Grand Hell Run, Algernon, but no version of Super Metroid Link to the Past Compromiser logic expects you to do that, not even hard mode.
Ooh, and Catfish.
Catfish tossing Greg at us, so Catfish is being a massive cheapskate. This is definitely a sandpit check set up for Raikou, because you can't go any further than this room. So my thoughts are here, you check the right sandpit, route up to Shack Tool, and reset if nothing's there, and then take the left sandpit and get out of town.
This is interesting. Where is Blandation going? Is he going to take that back route into Meridia I was talking about? Because I love this play.
No, Raikou's going left sandpit to just get out of town. Possibly.
I think he's actually just checking the left, because it is possible to stumble and fall down in that right one. He was getting the left one out of the way first.
Yeah, that makes sense. Nothing of value there, so that's a reset. This play, too, going for the route direct to Dragon. Something, I didn't think about is that the pickup of what Blandation has does put Dragon into logic, but only through this method.
Okay. Yes, and he also has the grapple available for the grapple kill. So that's going to make it even easier. And right sandpit not having anything for Raikou. Looks like he is going for the Shack Tool check.
Now, if this is some form of progression, it would arguably put RaikouRider right back into this. Although this jump is awfully finicky.
Raikou is capable of doing this. It'll put him back into it to an extent, but he is down a key movement item, Space Jump, which is making him burn time right now, and he still doesn't have that Moon Pearl. And Blandation at this point also has Varia. He can do pretty much anything he wants. Raikou really needs to get back on the right track here pretty soon. You're right. An item here at Shack Tool would help, but he needs to get a read on this logic, which is his specialty.
Looks like Blandation's setting up for a quick shock. And he just missed it by that much. So now Blandation has to wait for Dragon to move close enough and endure some punishment as well. There we go. Got some electrified shrimp.
Raikou Shack Tool check. Nets. Oh, just an E-Tank. Ah, tough.
That is a horrendous break.
At this point, Raikou is going to know that he's going to have to backtrack a little bit. That or he's going wreck ship. Blandation, meanwhile, has scored Dragon on the boss counter, and he is heading to do his Meridia check.
Now, Blandation's also going to have access to the plasma beam area, and the room is in logic with screw attack.
And it looks like Raikou, it looks like he is going to head to wreck ship. I see no other reason for him to take this route.
I think Blandation, Blandation wanted that power bomb pack and has picked it up.
Absolutely. He's comfortable now. He's got 20 max, spring ball, screw attack. He's in great shape. He's got enough to go all the way through Turian comfortably, even if he never finds Ice Beam.
Now, Raikou finding that mushroom mates. Well, I doubt it, but it may put an idea in his head.
We'll see which way he heads. I would believe he'd, even if he's going to the wreck ship, he would go to the ship first and fill up. But we'll see what he. Blandation, meanwhile, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just about to mention Blandation getting Tempered Sword, which for Raikou is Master Sword. Swords being progressive means what one person picks up first sword might be something the next sword in line.
And Blandation here showing why Space Jump is so sweet to have, because he's able to just zip through all of these checks. He's actually padding his lead on Raikou right now. And Raikou is making that wreck ship play, it looks like. Raikou really needs to find something over here. About the best thing he could find at this point would be something like Speed Booster, a bow, something like that. Well, but no, bow's not going to help because it's pendant dungeons.
Yeah, it would have to be something like Mire, which would potentially not convince him to go back, which is really what he should be doing, but wrecked ship isn't a bad play. It's just that right now, the way this seed's going, it doesn't feel like the right play. I mean, I could be wrong here, but
Mitch was also be good because it would pretty much spell it out for him. He's missed a moon pearl somewhere.
well, there's the ether medallion, so that'll help.
Thank you, son. Shout out to Reverse. Be sure and follow these runners and follow my co-commentator, Leslie Pro 04. Raiko himself says that Leslie is one of the best that ever did it.
I'm flattered to hear that, but I hear those that are better than me. Meanwhile, we've got ourselves a Phantoon, which without charge beam, your source of drops are going to be the fireballs. As for Phantoon's patterns, there are 3 different patterns he can throw at you each cycle. That one right there, a mid, as well as a fast, and a slow, and I think Raiko intentionally enraged Phantoon there, which is what happens when you hit him with a super missile and it doesn't take him out. You get all these fireballs. Screw attack, that's not much of an issue, but doing this in the vanilla game, you're gonna get punched.
That is exactly what Raku did. He did that on purpose. He has commented about that before. He knows he's got that screw attack, so he can dodge that rage. He's doing that to intentionally shorten the time of the Phantoon fight and get that guaranteed 3 cycle. Unfortunately, he got flame lamed and missed his shot right.
That can happen on a fast cycle.
All right, Blandation leaving no stone unturned. Looks like he is doing the shack tool check. We know he won't find anything, but that will take it off of his radar. And at this point, that's going to leave what? Pretty much just Plasma and then Meridia Beach and Watering Hole.
Which I believe Blandation already went to.
Yeah, that's right. He did. So just Plasma after this. And Blandation will have full cleared Meridia.
And no, Jiggly.
Well, thank you.
And we've got supers after Phantoon. Seem familiar? Yeah, it does.
Yep, some vanilla. Definitely not what Raku was hoping for, being as how he has 40 supers at this moment. Have either of our runners done the snail clip? Did Raikou do the snail clip?
Nah, he didn't. So those speed locked, so that one speed locked supers, that's gonna be it. Blandation wants that super missile pack. That is understandable.
Yeah, because he's thinking lower Norfair now. Wait, is he going to forego the plasma check?
Looks like it. I mean, it is an out-of-the-way check, so it'd be understandable. And a big 20 at wrecked ship E-Tank.
All right, so Blandation going down into Norfair as I expected. If he does upper Norfair first, which okay, he's about to find his fire.
Backdoor Mire shed. Well, that, considering what you need to get there, it could be considered.
Wait, did Blandation skip over the fire rod?
I didn't see. I was checking chat.
Okay, thank you.
Chat says he got it. That's a plus from our sanity here on our end.
Yeah, because you want to talk about a break for Raikou, that would have been a huge one. Versus the mitts, it's kind of out of the way. As far as while you're doing lower Norfair, especially with the fact that you have space jump, if you do the common route and take your and you check the space jump item above GT, when you come out at screw attack, you can just hop right through the portal, check that area, and then hop right back into lower Norfair. So it's not really that bad, but you really want the flute and the mitts.
This is going to be a very difficult missiles in the sky to get to for Raikou due to lacking space jump.
Fortunately, though, because he has high jump boots, he can do a little wall jump off those platforms a lot more easily. When you don't, he don't even have to wall jump. When you don't have the high jump boots, you can do it with ice beam.
That just being a big 20 at missiles in the sky and a piece of heart at missiles on the ground. Sometimes your routing for a seed is not what the seed expects you to do, and that does happen in Randomizer.
Yeah, Raikou here, unfortunately, unless he finds something in the next couple of checks, being victimized by a typical total logic wreck ship, not going to be much. So Blandation taking that route I was talking about, he has space jump. Unfortunately, he didn't need to come this way.
Yeah, because Showcase Showdown only had a big 20, and oh my goodness. G Golden Teresa with the silver arrows, but Blandation is having none of it and resetting.
I don't blame
I
him.
would have taken it. Yeah, I don't blame him, but personally, I still would have taken it. Because I don't know Green Gate Glitch. I still would have made use of that. Okay, down to one check inside of wrecked ship, and Raikou is not happy with that bomb capacity.
No, and I don't blame him. And yeah, if you don't know the Green Gate glitch, I don't blame you. I would have done it too. But Blandation with that tempered sword, he's fine. I'm the same way. Once I see that tempered sword, I don't care about silvers. He's in a bracket race. He's wanting to save every second he can, especially racing somebody like Raikou. Blandation, I don't think is aware of exactly how far ahead he is right now. Because he is.
Piece of heart at vanilla screw attack, and now we are about to have a look at the Mire region for the first time, and it is ether to get in, so Blandation can't get into Mire. Does have to go to wrecked ship for that. However, we can still check Mire shed.
Huge break for Raikou there, because if the mitts do not show up,
there's the bow in the Mire shed.
Then Blandation will have to go back through lower Norfair to get. I can't wait to see Raikou's reaction when he finds the space jump.
I'm more interested in his Moon Pro reaction. And that's probably why he didn't react, because he figured that can't be the only thing I missed. And
No,
he's gonna be right about that. It's just, yeah. Well, sometimes you rule the rando, other times the rando rule you.
Blandation, meanwhile, making his way up worst room in the game. That space jump and that screw attack really, really not demonstrating how this room got its name.
Yeah, it's when you don't have optimal equipment is when you realize how disgustingly bad that room is, and it is worthy of that moniker.
Yeah, it's like that room right before the hallway that leads to Aga 2, you know, with the ice
Baby
and the
Helma
bumper
room
things.
with all that
Yeah,
ice.
it's one of those
Well,
when things go wrong, it can go really, really wrong. Yeah, this reaction is going to be good here.
Yeah, this might be a clip-worthy one. And there's the trash can, there's the pearl, and there's the slashes, and the chest is getting completely foobarred.
Raikou right now is aware of exactly, maybe not exactly, but he's got a pretty good idea of how bad it is. Not that he is incapable of bringing it back. We still have a ways to go here. He did catch a break on getting that ether before he went. That was the one thing in Wreck Ship, and it is required. So we'll see how this plays out.
Now here's the part that concerns me in terms of ammo on Blandation side. Logically, you need 30 supers to bring Ridley down, and Ridley does not drop any ammo whatsoever.
Well, he's 5 super short, okay? Supers do double damage to Ridley, so it takes 6 missiles to replace each super. He has 50 missiles, so he has a 20 missile buffer at this point, if he farms up to full.
Raikou's heading straight for Skull Woods. Unfortunately, not going to be able to finish it because he had to reset away the fire rod.
He's still a big fan of checking the front of Skull Woods early. Blandation, of course, farming up to full. I don't know if he took a save before this or not.
Yeah, I didn't see that either. But chat does bring up is that he does have power bombs for backup, as Raikou does find another super missile pack.
Yeah, power bombs do 200 damage to Ridley per hit, 400 if you get the double hit. I believe Wild Anaconda did a thing one time where he killed Ridley with just power bombs, and it took 45 with double hits.
So single hit would be 90, but you're never going to get that many in a seed, and that's just arrows on bumper ledge, so that's not required. Meanwhile, we got a Ridley fight on Blandation side.
All right, and Blandation missing 1. 2, he needs to be careful here.
That he does.
Do not panic and start firing wild, Blandation. Take your time, slow down.
Yeah, in this scenario, panicking and going wild is the absolute worst thing you can do.
But what was that?
What in the world? Some sort of graphical glitch. So it's just power bombs and power bombs only.
This is going to be close. Do not lay them low, Blandation. Jump up in the air. There you go. There you go. You keep using that spot, you'll keep backing him off. That's right. That is how you do it. Stay away from that tail, buddy.
Yeah, that tail is deadly. And anybody who's tried, I know it doesn't get discussed much in the community, but anybody who's played other M's expert mode knows how dangerous Ridley's tail is.
He's gotten a lot of double hits here. Come on, Ridley, pick him up. There we go. Nice job, Blandation.
That was a clincher, as that was a very close call. Very little margin of error at the end, but Blandation gets the job done.
And that would have been a devastating hit for him because he would have lost everything he's done all the way through Upper Norfair into Lower Norfair. So, yeah, I expect to see him maybe stop and farm a little bit. No, maybe save on the way out.
I certainly would save on the way out after that because I wouldn't want to do that fight again.
All right, so he is going to do a little farming. I approve of this. He has space jump, but especially there where the 3 musketeers are, one accidental wall jump and you're going to take a knock.
Yeah, those key hunters do 50 health per when you're at full suit, so it would be a painful shot to take.
Raikou, meanwhile, is clearing out Thieves Town. Now, we've seen Blandation do this, so we know he's not really going to find anything of merit. Blandation, meanwhile, making what I consider the play of the game and taking this save.
Yeah, that's definitely a save you want to take. A lot of plant runners will take that save before Ridley as a safety in the event they go down, because a death to Ridley is quite costly, and Super Metroid is punishing enough as it is with deaths, so you don't need to have extra salt rubbed in the wound.
Yeah, added to that, the fact that he was a little tight on ammo, so I would not have blamed him for taking that save beforehand. Definitely needed to take it afterward, though. I'm pretty sure Blandation is skilled enough to make it out of here on what he has, certainly, but things happen.
Meanwhile, Raikou's in the final phase of the blind fight. Didn't mention before, but blind runs on a script where if you keep your motions the same, so as the timing of your hits the same, you'll basically get the same fight every time.
And GG to Raikou, he has scored his first crystal. Blandation, meanwhile, is on his way out of Lower Norfair. Happy to do it. He's got one more check here. And it's the powder, my favorite utility item.
Certainly is on the Link to the Past side, because you get health from anti-fairies, as well as bunny beams when they're not moving, and you get to do an in-logic check of magic back. And this is a very smart way of routing for Blandation. Pop out of Lower Norfair, go right to the wave beam area.
Yeah, this is, and there's the mitts. Wow.
Oh my.
Straight to gold.
Now, I'm gonna need chat to confirm this, but isn't that leave just a mirror from Go mode on the Z3R side?
Yes. And technically, all you need is ammo. You're in Go mode on the Super Metroid side. Oh, and Ether. Right. Ether, yeah. Well,
yeah,
we're in no mode.
No mode at that point, so we're just a mirror away, and we'll see how this plays out. Now we've got some farming for Blandation, and a very good spot to farm too, as this enemy generator spits out 5 enemies at a time instead of just 1.
Okay, wait, what are our pendants? Our pendants are Eastern Pod and what?
Turtle Rock.
Then Mire can't be on ped.
Well, Mire, actually, no, Mire can be on the pad. It would just be real annoying at this point.
How do you get to Turtle Rock?
To Turtle Rock, fair point. Mire can't be on ped. I'd forgotten about that detail. Whoopsie. This logic can be confusing sometimes.
Through the teleporter onto, okay, yeah. All right, so he's going to do some breast straps and use that space-time continuum warp thing that he does.
There's the Quake Medallion up in the area of Norfair E-Tank, and now Raikou's about to get Fire Rod.
Blandation not gonna
there.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it happens. So let's just see where Raikou goes here. If he goes to Lower Norfair, he'll be able to route this fairly cleanly.
Meanwhile, Blandation is heading straight back into Zelda. Don't blame him. Now, you know, Mire in Mire would really be a boost to Raikou. Or in Mire. Yeah. Mire in Mire would be a big boost to Raikou.
Yes, it would, as it would give him something that Blandation wasn't able to access. Could go back to access at any time, basically. Well, once he has Ether out of right ship.
He will get the wreck ship eventually. It looks like he's doing the Ice Palace play now.
Raikou thought about Showcase Showdown, but changed his mind.
He's banking on being able to check that at a later time if he has to. He is trying to save as many seconds as he can right now because, like you said, he has a pretty good idea how bad it is. No, well, he's going to do the gate glitch. Okay.
Yep, got it first try. I think he's going straight for the Mire area. And he's gonna be right about Showcase Showdown not being a thing. But what he's not gonna know is he's gonna have silvers that he'll be able to grab if he chooses to.
Well, he's pretty much dedicated to this fight once he came in the door. If he reset now, he'd be back at the ship. He has the ammo and he has the health, so why not just stand there and pound GT? Because he can get this over with quick, just like.
Oh, absolutely. And he made that fight look like a breeze.
But the really important thing for Raikou is coming up here. What is in Mire? This could be a turning point.
Well, he's going to hit Mire's shed now, as we are continuing a look at some new techniques that was approved within the past month or so, and that would be Icebreaker.
And Blandation pulling it off really nicely. Yes, Algernon, you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yes. In Compromiser logic, yes, you can by way of lower Norfair. So, by that logic, you could technically get your first lift upgrade here, or you could get it off Landmo if you place the mirror portal correctly to enter the back of the dungeon.
Which I also expect. Desert is a crystal. I expect to see Raikou go ahead and knock that out while he's...
But that is if we get mirror here.
Oh, no, that's right. You're right. You're right.
But yeah, that find of that silvers as well as bow is going to be big for Raikou, as that makes Vitreous a rather trivial fight.
Yeah, silvers is the preferred way. Tempered sword Vitreous is really no big deal. But silvers is super effective.
Oh, without a doubt.
And of course, Raikou gets the God Mire when he's, gonna need to full clear it.
Yep. Oh, that tends to happen in Randomizer quite a bit. Need a full clear.
Damn sure happens to me.
We do have one of two items out of the way, as that was just 50 rupees.
Yeah, that's not the one Raikou was looking for. He's really hoping for an item here.
Blandation finds a bomb upgrade in the iced tea room.
Well, when Blandation saw the silvers, he already had Tempered Sword.
Well, that's not what Raikou was looking for. But Wave Beam is certainly helpful. That's two items, so I'm not sure where Raikou's going. Oh, get a key. Well, you actually don't need a key if you go through that big key door. That's okay, though. Relatively minor.
Has he forgotten he's already gotten an item? Yes, he has.
It does happen. And then again, I did that once in a race with Ice Palace the other way, and it wound up costing me.
Blandation making quick work of Cold Stare with that fire rod and that tempered sword. And that is another crystal.
Yeah, there's 2 items that were inside of Mire. Ooh, that was close. Were 50 rupees and Wave Beam. Now, Wave Beam's not going to do anything unless you were to find Charge at this point, but still a nice item to have because now your beam goes through walls.
Even if he doesn't find Charge, that makes it a whole lot easier to do the Zeb skip should he find item. And it looks like Blandation is going to put that fire rod to use right after he checks the... Raikou, meanwhile, doing Dark Mire here.
These dark rooms are not fun. Especially this first one.
Raikou having a little problem getting that block placed. If you just go down in that bottom left corner, pick up the block, and move right 1 block width and toss it, it'll land right on the switch. Oh, and Raikou taking a death right there. Oh, tough break.
Yeah, that is a very tough break. He gave it a try, but is backing out. I can't say I blame him because those dark rooms are brutal. Chat mentioning another trick where if you sword tap the wall and get the metallic sound of hitting a bombable wall, which sealed doors make the same noise of, by the way, then you toss the block north. I'll have to try that next time myself.
So Raikou is going to go ahead and go through Lower Norfair. I think he's going to farm some supers here. It's a lot easier to just come out and lay a power bomb right at the edge of that ledge, and it will destroy all of those rippers and let you get all of the supers from them.
Yep, it rips them apart, basically.
Plantation having a little trouble with that spike while he was trying to get the fairy there, manages to pick it up.
Not sure what Raikou is doing at the start of worst room in the game, but no big deal, he's through.
Gonna take that bottle though. Blandation, meanwhile, is working his way to everybody's favorite bug, Mothula. With Fire Rod and Tempered Sword, and this much health, this shouldn't really be a problem for him. Mothula is a bit of a coward, though. He will hide up there in those spikes, and a sword hit while he's on those spikes actually doesn't count.
No hits count while he's hiding up in the spikes. It's about as cheap as a wrestling heel battering an opponent in the corner and utilizing the whole 5 count. And Mafia was holding the big key, which is one of 2 bosses that can do that, the other one being Argus in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, Blandation going to do the back to front check. And I believe from what we saw from Raikou, this is going to be the way to do it.
Yeah, because there was one item in the front that wasn't blocked by Fire Rod. Problem with this setup doing it now is you'd basically be resigning to taking Gibdo hugs for a death warp. Or not.
It's not that hard to get back out of there.
Yeah, I just prefer the death warp method myself.
Raikou, meanwhile, is about to take on Ridley. He's a bit more comfortable in his ammo that Blandation was. I don't expect to see him have much trouble.
So it looks like our second item for this run of Skull Woods is going to be in the big chest. And that's it. RaikouRider has downed Ridley.
Really nice job there from Raikou getting that done.
We're going to have a bomb jump set up, or an attempt at one by Blandation, but slipped off. Might have been trying for the dash strat, which gives you a 6 pixel window for that bomb jump. Unfortunately, that's not what Blandation was looking for, as that is Cana Burna, which helps against blind, and basically that's it in this situation. Maybe swag dash into car. But other than that, that's it, and that's all for Skull Woods.
Also, that and the cape, that puts Spike Cave in.
That it does, and it would be dirty to put the mirror there. But, hey, Rando's gonna rando.
What, a rando seed being dirty? No. Say it ain't so.
Yeah, last couple of Z3R seeds I played were pretty putrid.
Yeah, gravity at Graveyard Ledge can suck too. Ask me how I... All right, so Blandation checking hammer pegs here while Raikou is coming out of Lower Norfair. We know he's not going to find anything of those last few Lower Norfair checks, but he's going to run straight into those mitts when he does wave room, and he will be doing it.
Yeah, this is fantastic routing for Norfair overall, because you do the Lower Norfair stuff and then get the rest of Upper Norfair safe for the proc area, which we have not seen from our runners. As what we are seeing from Blandation is a save and quit to bring the blacksmith back into the light world. That was added a couple years ago to Link to the Past randomizer, and the first time I had that required in a race, it got me good.
Yes, you're right, Smiling Indian. It was, but Blandation did not know that because I believe he does not have the half magic that Raikou has, so cape alone would not have done it for him. Does he have the cape?
No, it doesn't look it.
That was Wreck Ship, right? Was that Wreck Ship?
I was blind that had half magic.
Okay. But Blandation didn't have the cape yet. Okay. So that put the blue cane would put.
And Raikou's really not happy with that item placement. We got Blandation making a run for the Dark World portal here. This could be for purple chest. Yeah, I missed it myself too. I don't think it was anything important though.
Blandation done King's Tomb yet?
Yeah, chat's saying it was another bottle from the blacksmiths, which, well, I guess they had a spare floating around. I don't know. He did do King's Tomb. It wasn't anything important.
Okay, thank you. I missed that. Talk about memes. Mirror in the purple chest. That's nasty.
And that's exactly how. That's exactly how. Save and quit being required to get an item there got me. The mirror was in there, and I was not a happy camper on that day.
Mirror, but ice beam.
Ooh. Now, if anything is going to make Turian easier for our runners, it's that right there. As Ice Beam freezes the Metroids, and then you can just use 5 missiles or a super to take them out.
Okay, and Blandation about to do his wrecked ship run. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but we are fast reaching the point. We know that he will not find Mire here in wrecked ship. He will find his access to Mire, which will also not give him Mire. We are fast getting to the point where you're going to have to dip some pendants.
Potentially. But there is one area Blandation did not go to that I believe Raikou is heading to right now. That is Crocomire. And there's still a non-zero chance of Turtle Rock having something. Even though we need Mire to get there. Wait,
that is correct.
Never mind.
Wave Beam does put Crocomire in logic.
Which Raikou got by way of doing Misery Mine. So this could be what Raikou needs.
Could have speed booster.
Blandation has ether, so that'll open up Mire. And Crocomire is taking a bath. I would have stayed over on that other side and waited for the animation to pass, because that animation tends to generate lag.
It does. It does. It takes a little bit of a while to get through that. And that's right. Chat bringing up the fact that Raikou still has to go back and complete Mire. He took that death trying the Dark Mire. I don't know how familiar Blandation is with Dark Mire. I think some of Blandation's friends here in chat. How is he with the Dark Mire? Do you know? Do they need speed booster? No, but they also don't need charge beam. It's that's been the logical requirement for charge beam has been removed. It's no longer logically required for Ridley or Mother.
Or Batoon, for that matter. It's also worth noting that when it comes to RNG patterns and Compromiser, they are randomized. So even though in standalone Link to the Past Rando, you get the same Aghanim patterns and Compromiser, those are different, and those are also different with Phantom.
That is a good point, Algernon. Neither runner checked plasma.
Raikou has yet to defeat Dragon. I almost said Phantom, but that's who Blandation is fighting at the moment.
And just some blueberries there. Raikou has one more shot at making this pay off. Okay, so Croc is not the answer.
So this time, betting on Croc was a lose-lose situation. And Chad is saying that Blandation can Dark Mire if necessary. So now I'm starting to wonder where that lamp is, which could be in Pendant Pod for all we know.
Yeah, it does take the lamp to put that in logic, but I'm pretty sure he's going to ignore that. But one of his friends here says he can do Dark Mire no problem. So, you know, if he can do Dark Mire, he can do Dark Turtle Rock if necessary. So, yeah, he's not going to worry about that.
Oh, Dark Mire's the tough one for me, but for some reason Dark TR just comes a bit easier for me. Game be weird like that, as Raikou picks up the Ice Rod. From here...
It's pretty much the Meridia play from here, unless he's going up towards... If he was going towards Pod, I would have think he would have fluted there.
Yeah, if he was going to Pod, he would have fluted to the 5th portal. This has to be a play for the Meridia portal.
Or Ice Palace. Raikou always
so
preaches
fast.
when you feel like you're behind, go somewhere that you think nobody else wants to go. Nope, he wouldn't have got Dark World. That's right, because he doesn't have the mirror. This has to be Meridia.
Yeah, this is Meridia without a doubt, because if he was going Dark World, or rather to Ice Palace, he would have fluted to like 8 or something. Not to 4 and then go into the Dark World. Need speed booster to go that way, but this particular route is no problem whatsoever with Spring Ball. If you don't have Spring Ball, you either have to wait for those enemies to roll past, or do a technique known as a Kago jump.
The Kago jump on those guys is really not hard. All you have to do is jump straight up and hold down, and you'll Kago right through it. So Raikou heading to Dragon, which we know is going to really hold nothing. Blandation, meanwhile, in the robot room, which we also know is going to hold nothing. So we've got some overlapping checks going on here. We're about to reach the 2-hour mark, so this is another time to say thanks for joining us here on SpeedGaming 2. You're watching a race between a RaikouRider and Blandation. This is a winner-take-all. The loser is eliminated. I'm AG. I'm joined tonight by Leslie Pro. Really good commentator. Be sure and give these runners a follow. Give Leslie a follow. And give our crack tracker Stump a follow. because he's been doing an awesome job tonight.
See if Raiko gets the quick shot. Phew! Just missed it. I think he was a tad early.
Got him that time, though. And having both of those suits, Dragon takes so much more damage than you do. So, Raikou tying up the Super Metroid boss count, while Blandation is heading down into bowling.
The only problem is, for this particular seed, this Chozo's going to roll a gutter ball.
But it's another thing that Blandation checks off. Now, what's going to be interesting here is whether or not Raikou goes to Plasma. Because Blandation did not.
And if Plasma has what we're after, then that could be bad news for Blandation.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Don't we still have an item pending in Desert?
Yep, and we do have the fire source needed to do that, so I would say that should be a play made sooner rather than later.
Oh, wow, but Raikou is heading straight back to A Link to the Past. Yeah, power cord. I remember you actually did. You did say that. So Raikou keeping that dark portal swimming this way makes me think that he's going for the pod play.
Yeah, Meridia into pod is not something that I thought of initially, but... Oh, wait, he forgot. Did he just forget he didn't have Mire? Yep, he totally did.
Okay, cool. I'm not the only one. So Blandation now doing those checks that he skipped earlier. Raikou's going to get a little break to catch up right now while Blandation does that. He's going to have to move a little bit, though. Blandation still has a 2-dungeon lead.
And right now, Raikou going into Ice Palace, which is retracing Blandation's steps here. I would have thought maybe doing something different, such as finishing off Desert, would have been a better call here, but we'll see how this plays out.
No, again, like I said, Raikou, one of the things he preaches is if you feel like you're behind, go where you think nobody else wants to go. And one of those is, of course, Ice Palace. And yeah, again, the speed booster is conspicuously absent.
Well, if they find Speed Booster before Mirror, then that would hint one of the speed lock checks could have something, and that would be annoying because you basically have two big ones that we know of that haven't been looked at. That would be Waterway in Brinstar, as well as the supers that are in the Snail Room.
And did anybody check Criteria supers?
Shaft supers? No, but Blandation has that in logic with the Ice Beam once Speed Booster's found. Blandation is in Desert Palace, so let's see how this plays out.
Yeah, because the things that that fire rod gives you, Ice Palace, Skull Woods, and Desert. We've already seen Ice Palace and Skull Woods. We know it's not there. And
This
we
would
know
be
it
the
can't
next
be in
best
Turtle
bet.
Rock.
And we know it can't be Hera either because we're completely blocked from that location. So the way this seed is set up, you could actually do Hera last before GT.
Which is sweet.
Certainly is.
What you want to bet Big Key in the basement anyway?
Wouldn't surprise me because the game knows.
Well, we're about to find out if Desert is the answer. Meanwhile, Raikou is about to find out that Ice Palace is not. I think he's going to go check that iced tea room and then head on down to Coastal.
Yeah, I'd also powder this anti-fairy. Just to be on the safe side, as Lamos is down, and that's the mirror!
Wow!
Unbelievable turn of events here. As that one item we've been looking for to hit go mode for both games has been found, as Blandation can now get that hook shot. And that would basically be go mode barring ammo count. That might be why Blandation went over here to go into Mire, knock this out. And with the hookshot being mirror locked on Spectacle Rock, that's basically all that there is left to grab for Blandation at this point. So this may be a cleanup play here.
Yeah, do this. Get your, go ahead and save and quit out of here. Get your Death Mountain. Go up there, get your hook shot. You're going to have to do Swamp, I believe. Come on down and do Swamp.
Hera's right there, so it would almost make sense to just do that anyway.
Nah. Grab the hook shot, do Swamp, go up. Get your Dark Portal. Do Turtle Rock, mirror in front of Ganon's Tower, and run in, do Hera, get your portal back, straight into GT.
Landmos has the mirror this time, Putz.
Oh, and we know that Blandation is going to get a Godmire here.
But that will also mean they will not have Wave Beam, so if full Power Beam gets found, Raikou would be able to take advantage of that, while Blandation will be just Wave Beam short of it.
That will be somewhat of a difference, but right now, barring some cataclysmic event, this is Blandation's race to lose. Raikou still has to find that mirror. He still has to come in and finish Mire. And then he has to catch up on to Blandation on the dungeons. This is going to take something. Raikou just realizing now he can't get across.
He might be calling an audible to go to Spike Cave. Nope, failing out.
I think he's going to go to Desert now. No. Okay. Skullwoods. All right.
It would make sense because he has to do this. Taking audio cues from Blandation to see Because they're trying to do the Mire Dark Room, and this is difficult by any stretch of the imagination.
See, the problem with holding the sword to tap the wall is that that thing shoots a non-stop stream of those little spit bullets at you.
And Blandation hit the switch when that wasn't necessary for a go mode Mire.
Well, one of the other chatters in here said that he can do Dark Mire. And powdering that fairy definitely needs to do that.
And Raikou's dealing with the Gibdo Hellway nicely. Now, Blandation is going to have a different Vitreous fight based off of the fact that they don't have silvers, but the zero cycle strat when you are at Tempered Sword is pretty simple, but sometimes it turns into a 1 or 2 cycle.
Yeah, he's fine. He's going to take this bow and polish him off. And that's going to be 5.
Yep, you got it done. The strat is relatively simple compared to just trying to deal with Vitreous casually. But even so, it's not a fun fight if you don't. If south of Tempered Sword and not having silvers, Vitreous fight's a bad time. As we've got our runners taking off simultaneous bosses, RaikouRider with Mothula, Blandation, Vitreous. Yeah, I could see Lamp being on Hera or East Death Mountain at this point.
Where is Blandation going?
I do not know. Did they forget where the hook shot was?
Did they forget they don't have it?
Both scenarios are definitely possible here. Uh-oh, this is a bit...
Okay, he just realized.
He just backed out of what could have been a very bad time for a brain fart, folks.
Blandation, buddy, I'm an old man. Don't do that. Don't do that. The ticker is not.
Yeah, I'm getting up there myself, so that's not a good thing to do.
Well, he recovered, so that was more of a brain poop. And he's going to grab that hook shot, and now he'll probably go to...
Yeah, he's out of there.
Nice, sweet go mode swamp with boots and the red cane to do Diver Down. You couldn't ask for much better than that.
Outside of maybe hearing Dr. Bobtastic dreaming about a Go Mode Swamp Palace, how about a Go Mode Compromiser Swamp?
Mire was on Lamela's Maniac. What's up, Crayon? You're welcome, dude. I'm the announcer. That's my job.
So we've got Raikou doing blacksmith into purple chest. And I agree, Maniacal. Too many good matches going on all at once.
Yep, and you know, just a shout out to Maniacal. And if you didn't catch it, GG's to Maniacal. Speaking of good matches, congrats on your win today. In case you haven't looked at my brackets, I picked you to win the whole thing. So keep going, big.
So Blandation not treating this as a go mode swamp, instead looking for items. Maybe it's ammo concerns on the Super Metroid side. I'm not sure about this.
I'm sorry, Leslie, what did you just say?
Well, I see Blandation going for the first chest in Swamp, and I'm wondering if maybe that was ammo related, or were they looking for something else?
I would guess it's ammo. I mean, it's right there. I would expect him to check those two chests on the way to Argus if he does Diver down. Because, you know, charge beam, some supers. He still doesn't have waving. Any of that would be nice. I mean, he's not going out of his way to check any.
Yeah, and chat mentioning that he only has 40 supers tells me that it's definitely an ammo situation, because you do need 60 for Mother Brain Phase 2.
Yeah, I think his missile count was something like 50, so he will need a little bit of a bump. Neither one of those really helping out. Raikou, meanwhile, carrying that purple chest over. Now, let's see if this carries him over to Desert. That would make sense.
Well, that gets him Ice Beam.
So he's a charge away from full power beams. Where is he going now? Back in the
Spike Cave, maybe.
Spike Cave, maybe. No, yep.
That's Phase 1 of Argus.
Nice fire rod strat by Blandation, who clearly knows what he's doing.
Sanctuary Heart, though. So the only thing that's going to do is cut down on the reload time. And Spike Cave only has a missile pack.
And Blandation, I don't blame him grabbing that missile pack outside of Dam there. He's very much aware that he needs a little bit more ammo. Pretty sure he'll find some in GT.
Yeah, that's generally given. Well, Raikou is running to Pod.
Oh, wow. I'm really surprised by this move from Raikou. I would have expected him to finish Desert. But I guess he's hoping it's in here. So that way, you know, this is a gamble you take when you're trying to throw the Hail Mary. He has a pretty good idea that it's pretty bad right now.
Meanwhile, Blandation is giving us our Paradox Cave check. This is actually our first chance to get over here.
I don't blame him. Again, he's looking for ammo or charge beam. If he finds charge beam, he's going to stop checking. I feel fairly certain. There's another missile pack, So yeah, this is helping him out.
Yeah, this seed is the only way I could describe this seed for RaikouRider is that he got rando hard.
Yeah, it's one of those seeds where you realize you're behind. So you start taking gambles, hoping you can recover, and then none of your gambles pay off. And it just, trust, I've been there. It's a suck fest. It is, but it happens to the best of us. Raikou, well known for his routing, well known for his reading of the logic. It did not pan out for him. Now, it's not over yet. Anything could happen, but he's going to have to catch a break here.
Well, the fact that Bombos is needed for Turtle Rock is going to at least keep our runners out of that dungeon today.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, but Hera is our last crystal, right?
Yeah, so checking Hookshot Cave for ammo makes sense. That's our last game! You dirty!
And Blandation gonna go ahead and check Super Bun. I think somebody called Lamp in Tower of Hera.
That's pretty darn close to it.
And another pack of supers. Now, Blandation really likes that. He's gotten like 4 or 5 packs of missiles and a pack of supers. He finds another couple of ammo packs in GT, and he's fine. I think technically he's fine now. He would be tight. Let me see. 45 leaves 15, which means 45 missiles. Yeah, he would probably have to go back and refill, but he's okay. Raikou, meanwhile, doing the dark U-shaped room.
Yep, dark basement. Which is a small key. And I did not see what that was.
I didn't either. Blandation, meanwhile, scored another missile pack in Eastern. And I was wrong. Big key not in the basement.
Raikou trying to navigate the dark maze. Here's a spot where if you're having trouble using ether can help to get the Kadongos to stop moving around.
Blandation getting that small key out of that chest. I would not expect to see him check Hera basement. if Moldorm does not have what he's looking for.
Raikou made it to the second chest in the dark maze. No idea what it was.
Blandation making short work of Moldorm. And Moldorm is holding the map. So I don't really think Blandation is going to check that basement. I expect to see him go right into GT. That is his 7th crystal.
Yep, so it's time to throw some guesses into chat between 1 and 22 to see where the GT big key is. The bot is not working, so we're just going to throw the numbers
13.
in. I'm going with, I've stuck with 8 ever since February.
11. Damn!
So, you said 13 right before it popped up in chat on my end.
No, I guess I'm getting a little quirky. And he, as I was saying 13, it popped up. We'll share 13. We'll share the nothing if we. Ah, well, that's over.
2. And that was Jen Sarcasm with the 2.
Yeah, rip the flavor. Now, I wonder if Blandation will go so far as to... Nope. Yeah, he is. He's going to do the Stalfos room. He is looking for a little more ammo.
That makes sense.
Ha! That's it. Charge beam.
Yep,
wow.
Charge Beam GT Blandation calls it enough at that and is taken off, as that's go mode for both games. Strap in, buckle up, because it's time to fly.
So Blandation is running about a 245, 250 pace right now, I'd say. Raikou, meanwhile, getting these checks out of the way. And there's that missile pack you told me about in Kingston.
Wave is in Mire with Golden Terrezo guarding the silver arrows. This is a second round matchup, so the winner of this matchup will play the winner of another match, which will be a match between Andy and the winner of Ivan versus Silvermoon.
Which I believe was on.
Yes, it was. That was in progress when we started. No idea yet. And we're not going to say anything on the Boots side to keep the spoilers out of the VOD.
Wow, Raikou is really... I understand what he's doing, but
yeah,
he's falling into that trap.
Honestly, this is basically how a number of my standalone Z3R seats have been. Make the wrong turn, then try to compound it by making Gam figure it out and going one way instead of the way I meant to go next, and yeah. Truly hate to say it. I know that's a saying that gets thrown around the community as a meme often, but the truth is you really do hate to see it.
Oh, wow. And okay, Raikou gonna make this desert play. And and you're gonna see some sword slashes when that mirror drops. The rage will be felt.
And probably not on a level since I last locationed an ice rod in a swamp palace and an Randomizer seed that I almost god routed to get, but random crystal rollers were a thing.
Blandation taking a little damage there, but these two anti-fairies that you got here to powder will help him out quite a bit with that. Get his magic refill with his half magic. He didn't go and fill any bottles, did he? Oh,
He might have earlier. I don't. And there goes Trolldorm.
PB was 306, a 258. Okay.
Ooh, unfortunately for Blandation, taking a shot from a Wizrobe beam when you have green mail that does 4 hearts of damage, which is the same amount of damage that a red Wizrobe beam will do to you in Zelda 1. So we've got RaikouRider finally taking on the Landmos. Blandation about to take on Aga 2. So the question for our runners is, how's the agonometry? That was only 1 hit, because the shots are basically synced. I think that was 1 as well, but I could be wrong. Ooh, that was a dodge effort. And there we go. Aga 2 down. But with that mirror, RaikouRider is off to deal with Misery Mire. Interesting.
Yeah, he died in here doing the dark room earlier, so he still has to complete it. Meanwhile, Blandation is dropping in to start his Ganon.
Ganon is not the only one that has that deja vu feeling, folks. And look at this RNG that Blandation got. The God Corner setup where all you have to do is 3 spins in the corner and it's free. But instead, Blandation is just giving Ganon a massive beating.
Making sure he goes right into that next phase. And Ganon not wanting this to be over yet.
Ganon is trying to stall for time, but runs out of teleports, and... Well, and now we find out where the silvers were, Norfair lower. I think that's a hint change for this version of the LOD.
Or Norfair. We saw all... Oh, no, that's right. It was above GT. Duh.
Meanwhile, we are seeing silverless strats from Blandation as they did not take on Golden Chorizo for that. Raikou, meanwhile, in a bit of a tight spot, only one heart. Gonna need to get some health back here pretty soon.
Blandation scared me again, man. Stay away from that edge, brother.
Yeah, I've already done that job of giving... Okay, gaining teleporting over there does worry me, admittedly. And Raikou got bunny beamed. When the Mega Man X sprite gets bunny beamed, you see the Spirit of Dr. Light. And meanwhile, Blandation takes down Ganon. We got Bacon, 1G in chat, and now off for the other G. I was testing something. As Raikou gets his revenge on Vitreous. He is rapidly running out of time, though. Still has to get the hook shot, clear Hera and Swamp before GT can become a thing. Blandation on his way to Turi, the final area of Super Metroid. Raikou about to get the hook shot. And with one slight routing difference going right for Hera. It's one Metroid room down. Rinka blocked one of the super missiles. Now we're in the third Metroid room. And now for the final one. Whoa, that last Metroid almost latched onto Blandation. Had that happened, your only way of escape would have been to lay down power bombs in this situation because you don't have Morph Ball bombs. Blandation facing left coming out of this cutscene is slightly slower than facing to the right for some reason. But in terms of ammo count, 100 missiles, 49 supers is definitely okay for Mother Brain. And having Charge Ice Plasma will definitely help too. Nose up skip for Blandation, going straight at it. And now for Mother Brain. This starts out by shooting a number of missiles and supers at the brain for phase 1, just like regular Metroid. Only difference is the platform's a bit lower. And logically, not always. The game expects that you'll have enough ammo by how the new logic is. But it's no problem, because having Charge Beam for this boss helps immensely, especially with plasma attached. Not sure how many charge shots it is for Charge Ice Plasma. Full powered beam, it's just 20. This version, I'm not sure. And we got a catch-up beam. Don't get hit again, Blandation. Oh boy, that was close. Blandation's just firing away super after super and is through to phase 3. And with that comes the cutscene. Raikou, meanwhile, setting up for Diver Down. Doesn't like the setup of the first one. Doesn't get it the second one. Let's see how he does this. The Gel is trolling him by also doing a perfect Diver Down itself. And chat is saying that you do need 60 supers without Charge Beam for Mother Brain Phase 2. Yes, it's doable. I have seen it done before, but it sure as heck ain't easy. And Raikou's closing in on Argus for Crystal 7. Ready with the Bible thumps, chat. Or any sub-equivalent. Raikou has taken down Argus and has picked up the 7th crystal. He's going to be heading off to GT while Blandation is on final phase Mother Brain. And Hyper Beam does a devastating amount of damage to Mother Brain, and safe to say, in addition to beam damage, also takes Whiplash. Yeah, that's a good question, because we never found Speed Booster. That would have been nice. But, in the meantime, the timer's set, and it's time for Blandation to get out of Dodge. Hyper Beam shots clear those gates out nicely now. The one difference between this escape and the ones we typically see in any percent and hundo is that we don't have Speed Booster, so we gotta take a slightly different route. This area is a bit of a maze. Raikou's heading to the Turtle Rock teleporter. Blandation nearly out of Turian. The does have to get out as there is rising lava. So that means you gotta move it. Blandation is doing a good job climbing up the shaft one last time. So Raikou has opened up Ganon's tower. Now for the one question of mind. Is it a save or is it a kill? And I believe, yep, it is indeed going to be fried animals tonight on Blandation's side, but more importantly, is to get your GGs in chat for Blandation, who has won and moved on to the round of 16 with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 44 minutes, 51 seconds. That is a tremendously good time. Sub 245. Wow. See if we can get him in here for an interview. In the meantime, Raikou's climbing up GT. And chat is telling me that that's an insanely hot race PB for Blandation by about 14 minutes. That is a heck of a time to pull a race PB. And we are now joined in the commentary booth by Blandation. GG, congrats on the time, and you're moving on to the round of 16.
What's up, guys? Thanks for the GGs.
So, the way that seed went, you basically routed it perfectly. I don't think there's any other way I can describe it, because you made all the right turns and Raikou diverted and wound up taking longer to get key items, and that, so basically you were ahead for like the majority of the race, if not all of it.
I honestly felt very worried because I was very stubborn with the path, the Morph Ball. I didn't want to go to the bottom of Brinstar, but once I found the book there, I was like, oh boy, I already felt behind at that point. Getting the early boots was nice, at least. I also felt pretty bad when I finally found the Mire and Desert after like full clearing wreck ship first. But it did feel good to skip Brinstar for the most part, aside from the book.
Yeah, the book was basically the big required item that was in that area. You both sequence break hope to get the boots, which wound up leading to Space Jump. That was some wild good routing. I will say that right now. That was some insane routing.
Yeah, that was so it was, I forgot exactly where Grapple was, but high jump boots ended up being in X-ray. So as soon as I found those, I was like, that's an ugly route to like boots logically. So I'm kind of glad I picked them up.
Yeah, that was, yeah, in terms of logical routing, that was disgusting.
Yeah, I was definitely sweating on the Ridley fight too.
Yeah, you cut it extremely close ammo-wise on that Ridley fight. You had only 3 power bombs left. We were sweating here in the commentary booth, and I'm sure chat was nervous too.
I was sweating the entire seed for ammo pretty much. Once I saw that charge beam in install first room. I was like, thank God. Like that was the saver right there. But was still only at like 50 or 55 supers, whatever it was.
Yeah, you were at 55 supers. Raikou just grabbed a big key, grabbed a small key, and went straight up. But yeah, overall, what are your thoughts on the seed?
I'm really happy to PB. There's no better time to do it. Sprint skip is real aside from the book. I just I was a little clumsy here and there, especially in SM, but I'm happy with how I played. I'm really happy with how I played.
Guys, you played that seed extremely well. Honestly, I don't think you could have played that seed any better. And Raikou just about had a double-triple setup, but got blue-balled. So we'll take the 3 cycle. So yeah, as we're seeing in IRC, Raikou last location, Mitz and Moon Pearl, as well as Space Jump. So yeah, rando's gonna rando sometimes. So looking ahead to the round of 16, that's gonna be a pretty strong matchup no matter how you spin it. Gonna be looking forward to it, that's for sure.
I know tonight, it was, I believe, Silver Rain versus Ivan.
Yes, and the winner of that match takes on Andy.
I'm already sweating.
You know what? I would be too, because you go past one quality opponent, one tournament, and sure enough, there's another one waiting. But we don't know who it's gonna be, because honestly, I have no idea in the booth as to who won that match. But it's gonna be a really good match. You put on an incredible showcase tonight, and if you do that again, all I'd say is it's gonna be another great matchup.
I don't know if I'm gonna get that lucky again, but I do appreciate it. This tournament's a lot of fun. I did not expect to make it this far at all. But I've learned a lot from a really great community, whether it was just in Discord, just talking about tech and logic, or just watching them play and just having them interact with chat. It's a really good time. It's a really good community to be a part of.
I concur. I've been a part of this community as a commentator for, well, this is my 2nd tournament. I had thought about entering this tournament, but then the controller I use for SNES games broke in another tournament, so I had to reconsider. Raikou with a double to finish off. It's 1G in chat for Raikou. And he's on his way to Turian. A T? This isn't golf. It's the first thing I could think of. Alright, well, we got a minute. I'm gonna grab the schedule, see what we got coming ahead. So looking over the schedule for tomorrow, our matches start at 4:10 p.m. None of these have assigned channels, by the way, but our first match is Dante versus Total at 7:10. Cassidy Moan versus Relkin. And then at 9:10, Sinus versus Hitaka. And then on Saturday, the Blue Crayon will be taking on my co-com Ancient Gamer, who I think might have disconnected. I'm not totally positive there. Raikou is going through the Metroid rooms. As for the SpeedGaming schedule itself as a whole, there is only one more thing going on tonight. Get into that in a minute. But for SpeedGaming, tomorrow the action kicks off on Main at high noon with Portal 2 tournament action. There's also several other matches scheduled throughout the day, including a Zelda 3 Random Daily Race, Mario Kart 64, Metroid Prime Any Percent, and more. Raikou is setting up. For a baby. And I'm also looking down the line at upcoming matches that are on the schedule as we are on the air. Monday, May 18th at 6:10 will be Pizza 34 versus Cantaloupe Me. And then on Tuesday, May 19th at 7:10, Asder takes on Cheesinator. Lots of great matches to come in this tournament, including some that aren't on the schedule yet, so stay tuned for that. And Raikou is heading back to refill missiles. Raikou gets the Zeb skip first try. Opting for just regular missiles here, which makes sense because the supers are what you use for Mother Brain. Here's Mother Brain. Gotta dodge all the fast food stuff in this fight. including the ketchup. Onion rings, french fries, and cheeseburgers. And that's enough damage. Now we are in the final cutscene before the final phase. And unfortunately, there goes the baby. And all I'm going to say in response to that is Samus, mother, time to go. With that, the brain melts away, and start the countdown. I find this escape to be much different when you don't have Speed Booster. Because the way you have to do it is basically the worst. Well, it's basically how I did it first time I cleared this game all those years ago. Right, goes up the shaft, got up the shaft very fast. And he is getting out of dodge with this seed, so get your GGs in chat for RaikouRider, who finishes things off with an official SRL time of 3:02:56. We are joined. Whoa, whoops. We are joined by Raikou in the booth, GG, and that was definitely not the way you had planned that one.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't lose to Blandation. I lost to myself. So the whole thing with Screw Attack, I made a pretty bad tirade in IRC about this already. So I last location the book in Big Pink, even though as soon as I found the Screw Attack in CAC, I had like the dead read that there was going to be something there. And then I just didn't shove my chips in. I just didn't want to make the bet. The same thing happened with the Merle. I last location the Merle. I last location the Titan's Mitts.
Yeah, in terms of routing for this seed, the routing just didn't work out at all.
And then by the time I last location the Mitts, you might have. I was actually thinking about TR, and then I realized with hookshot being mirror locked, I couldn't even get there. So I just made a Hail Mary play into Ice Palace, which I think was correct at the time. I think it was correct to do that given how late I'd found everything. But the thing that tilted me the most is after I found Ice Rod in the back of Croc, I decided to do a Hell Run, and then when I saw a required item at Cathedral, I knew there was no way I was going to be able to do the Hell Run with the energy that I had, so I just made a note of it and turned around. And that was the second case of me not wanting to shove my chips in when I had a dead read on the seed, and I'm pretty sure picking up that fire rod and picking up the fire rod there and turning around with it would have saved me at least a half hour. That is the most frustrating thing about the way I routed this seed, is I had the dead read on everything. Like, you give me that fire rod, then I have mirror, and then everything else just falls into place. I thought it was too good to be true when I found everything. So that's why I started going in like all those weird directions, and like that was the most frustrating thing, was finding a mirror that was just in the back of desert, and I just didn't want to follow through. That's the story of why I'm so upset. Is it was just a matter of I had the dead read on the seed and I just didn't shove my chips in.
That is quite unfortunate.
Like anybody still in this tournament who wants to learn a lesson from this race, I got a great one for you. Trust your instincts. They're usually right. And that's why I lost this race, is because I didn't trust my instincts.
That's a good lesson to learn for any randomizer, period, is trust your instincts, as they normally are right.
I really just don't know what else to say about this without going off on another tirade, and I'd rather not do that. I'm already tilted as it is. I'm so sorry for...
No worries. I'd be tilted too if a seed went that way on me, believe me. And you've seen how tilted I can get.
I usually don't get tilted like this, that's the thing. I'm usually like the most calm player. But on the other hand, I'm okay not getting embarrassed by Andy.
That is a fair point to be made there. That's going to be an interesting matchup to see whoever Blandation goes against, because...
It'll be Andy.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a good one whenever that'll be. But Andy's still got one more match to play between the winner of Ivan and Silver Rain, which I have no knowledge of, and I've managed to keep it out.
Right, I completely forgot that Ivan was in that side of the bracket. If he has to play against Ivan, that's not free at all.
Yeah, if it does, yeah. We don't know that for sure, but if that's the way it is, then oh my goodness, that is going to be a tilt to watch.
No kidding.
But with that, figure it's about time to wrap things up. Any final words on the seed?
Just thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming in. I would like to thank AG for coming in as well. It's just a shame I can't. It's just a shame I can't talk to him and hear about it because I wanted to just say my piece to him as well. I'll just have to do it privately. But
yeah,
I might wait a day to do it because I'm not in exactly a good state of mind right now.
that's fair. That's understandable. As for the rest of Speed Gaming, the only stuff going on right now is Z1R random percent action, as far as I'm aware. But with that, I do believe it is time to call it a night. And one final shout out to the runners here that were on here tonight. That would be Blandation and RaikouRider. Give both of them a follow. Their Twitch names are as you see them in chat. And you can also give Ancient Gamer and myself a follow if you feel so inclined. As for me, my final thoughts on this seed, yeah, that's how Randomizer is sometimes. That's basically all I can say. But I'm definitely looking forward to whomever Blandation has to go against because it is going to be a fantastic match. Believe me when I say that. But with that, I'm calling it a night here for Speed Gaming for our tracker behind the scenes, which was Stump. Also give him a follow. Our restreamed runners, RaikouRider and Blandation. And for Ancient Gamer, I'm Leslie Pro. Take care, have a good night, and yes, I'll try and do better the next time. Take care, y'all.